there's this executive order which is leaked, at least in some parts of the media, and a lot of people are reacting to that. MSF has in fact put out a statement, Doctors Without Borders, saying that this should be an issue that Prime Minister Modi should take up with President Trump. He said India should not be pressured into issuing compulsory licenses. The US is trying to seek more concessions by way of extending patent terms beyond 20 years, lowering standards for grants of patents, etc. And India must not succumb to this kind of pressure. What's your response to the leaked executive order?
Are you referring to the executive order that...
On pharma, specifically.
We're looking at that. Anytime you look at something that's going to improve intellectual property protections, we want to see those put in place. In many countries, there's not 20 years protection, and we would argue that there is some room for improvement. There's also a need where you've seen maybe negative actions taken, such as compulsory license. We also see a need for governments to step forward and reassure the industry and
But hasn't the Indian government given enough assurance, and even as far as the issue of compulsory license is concerned? And even in dealing with patentability, when the matter has gone to courts, in fact, it's the patent holder in most cases that's won in India.
I think when you're looking at Indian law, and there's still gaps that do not assure that that's no longer off the table. And you do hear a lot of rhetoric, not always from the government, sometimes from activist forces and other groups that are weighing into the conversation, but you do still see and hear a lot that gives industry pause, that gives businesses pause, and these are businesses, by the way, that are actually eager to invest in India. When you go back to the global, we put out a ranking system every year that looks at the global IP environment. India is one that many businesses see as a prime opportunity, but for many of them they see it as a missed opportunity, because when you line up and look at the environment, you look at the protections for patents, copyrights, trademarks, trade secrets, a number of IP factors, you see that India still does not have the same kinds of protections in place that many other countries do. So it's also about how competitive does India want to be in a world market.